If you were to ask me who my favorite director of all time is, I would probably say John Landis. He's not the most prolific, the most outlandish or brilliant, but there was a time for about 10 or 11 years where Landis was flawless. The Blues Brothers, which is probably my favorite film. Animal House, Spies Like Us, Three Amigos, Blues Brothers 2000, never mind. The point is that the man is a legend of comedy, but what a lot of people tend to forget is just how diverse he was as well. He directed a segment for the Twilight Zone movie, he directed the music video for Thriller, and he directed, in my opinion, the greatest werewolf movie ever made, An American Werewolf in London. Two friends, Jack and David, are backpacking across England when they are attacked by a gigantic wolf. Jack is killed, but David survives, waking up in a hospital in London. The police are convinced that he was attacked by a lunatic, although David insists that it was an animal.
I'm certain if there were a monster roaming around northern England, we'd have seen it on the telly.
Turns out they were both right. David transforms into a werewolf several times, killing a few innocents in the process. He tries to get himself arrested and even attempts suicide, but nothing works, and he transforms yet again.
What's going on here?
Some kind of animal, sir.
He goes on a killing spree, which is stopped when the police corner him in an alley and take him out as his body returns to human form. Despite making this movie between two of the greatest comedies ever, Blues Brothers and Trading Places, Landis actually started work on this film when he was about 19 or so. And from what I can tell, not a lot of the movie changed between then and when it was released. It definitely doesn't seem in line with his writing at the time, and that's only for the best. The story takes a pretty traditional approach that most werewolf movies follow. Man is bitten by werewolf, man becomes werewolf, man is killed before he can turn someone else into a werewolf. But what I think I love most about this is that they don't shy away from any of the steps at all. You see the attack, the transformation, the aftermath, and the regret all on screen. Everything the character goes through, the audience goes through as well. You even get a glimpse of his mind as the literal ghosts of his past come back to haunt him.
Can I have a piece of toast?
This movie has its moments of pure dark humor, and Jack is the ultimate culmination of that. Jack's undead body taunts and torments David throughout the entire film, helping him understand what's going on while also cracking off some of the film's best lines.
You're not real. Oh, don't be a putz, David.
His body slowly decays over the course of the film, appearing worse and more aggressive as the story comes to an end, and while he's trying to console his friend at the same time, he's also trying to convince him to kill himself so he doesn't hurt anybody else. The scene in the adult movie theater is probably my favorite because of how casual all the people he's killed are discussing which method of suicide he should employ. It's so surreal and insane that you can't help but laugh at it.
A knife. An electric shock.
A car crash?
You could throw yourself in front of a tube.
Drowning.
Thank you. You're all so thoughtful.
There's a lot of other funny moments, like when he tries to get himself arrested by making fun of British people because I guess he believes that's a crime over there. And then when he tries to escape the zoo after waking up from his night out, complete with one of my favorite lines from the film.
A naked American man stole my balloon. What?
But there is one scene that everybody talks about when they mention this film, and it really stands out above the rest. It's easily the best in the film. Not that one, but I don't think we're ever going to get an explanation for that.
Finally, the truth about Hitler's diabolical plans to create a race of superwomen can be told. Werewolf women of the SS.
The scene I'm talking about is the transformation scene. It is totally different than anything else that has ever been put on screen before in picturing someone changing into a werewolf. In the old days, it looked like a fairly quick process, just some hair randomly appearing on the body and the face, fangs replacing the teeth. But this process was done in direct light without a lot of cuts. You watch the body parts extend, the hair grow, the face contort into this abomination right before your eyes. Now, the wolf was designed by Rick Baker, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because Baker is probably the most influential prop and special effects wizard of all time. Here's just a short list of the films you might know his work from. The Exorcist, Star Wars, Videodrome, Men in Black, Hellboy, and the Planet of the Apes remake. I know the movies suck, but you can't deny those apes looked amazing. And I think this may be some of his best work. The transformation scene speaks for itself, but also the animatronic werewolf, the slowly decaying David, every special effect looks amazing, and nothing looks phoned in. And if there's one more thing I should mention about this film, it is the amazing choices for the soundtrack. There is no actual score for the movie, it just lets the dialogue and sound effects make up all the background you could ever need, but the licensed songs that they include are brilliant. When David and Alex make love for the first time, Van Morrison's Moon Dance is playing in the background. While he's waiting for the moon to rise, CCR's Bad Moon Rising plays obnoxiously loud, as if to toy with the audience and the character itself.
Don't go around tonight, well, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise.
And then when the transformation actually takes place, you've got a nice soothing version of Blue Moon by Sam Cooke. There are actually 3 versions of Blue Moon in the film, one of which is done by Bobby Vinton in the opening credits, which is nice enough, and then during the end credits, right after the most heartbreaking moment of the film, where David is gunned down in front of his girlfriend. Wow! What an asshole. I love it.
It's a full moon. Beware the moon and stick to the road. Oops.
This one has got everything I love in a great horror film. Action, drama, great characters, lots of blood, and a significant overtone of dark humor. It also came out in a year where there were 2 other amazing horror films about werewolves, Wolven and The Howling, but this one is just that much better. It's definitely one of John Landis' best, and it's even more impressive when you realize this came in a period when the man was only known for comedy. It'd be like if Seth Rogen had written Paranormal Activity. I feel like he could have done a lot more horror if he wanted to, especially since he wrote this before he became famous. But regardless, this is a great movie, well worth a watch.
Excuse me.
What's that? You want me to stick to the 80s? Alright, if you insist. Next time we'll finally talk about something from George A. Romero.